Good day, everyone. I am Amila Gunarapa, and we are the group 11. And we're going to discuss is about environmental protection and negative externalities. So, have you heard Keystone XL? So, muna siya. It is a pipeline system designed to bring oil from Canada to refineries near the Gulf of Mexico, as well as to boost crude oil production in the United States. So, kanang XL ay Keystone XL mo siya ang pipeline mo siya kanang dako bitaw siya nga tubo nga dira nag-agi ang mga crude oil gikan sa United States. So naa na siya 4 phases nga gibuhat kanang nga pipeline. So with the first 2 currently in operation, bring oil from Alberta, Canada, east across Canada, south through the United States into Nebraska and Oklahoma, and the northeast again to Illinois. So ang project na third ug fourth phase is known as Keystone XL would create a pipeline southeast from Alberta straight to Nebraska, and then from Oklahoma to the Gulf of Mexico. So in 1969, the Cuyahoga River in Ohio was so polluted that it spontaneously burst into flame. Air pollution was so bad at that time that Chattanooga, Tennessee was a city where, as an article from Sport Illustrated put it, the death rate from tuberculosis was double that of the rest of Tennessee and triple that of the rest of the United States. So, grabe na ilang lugar dito is grabe na ka-polluted. Tapos, labi na sa Tennessee nga city. Gisulat na siya sa article nga ang ilahang lugar is na kuana sa death rate sa tuberculosis tungod sa ka-polluted sa ilang air dito. Ang mga leg sa babae murag na ay stocking tungod sa kahugaw sa kaning hangin nila, tapos nagadala ang kanang pag naay mo atog office ay kanang magtrabaho sa opisina, magdalas na sila extra nga mga t-shirt kay kung kanang ilang mga white t-shirt kadugayan nila kuan is mahimo na siyang murag mag-gray na ang color tungod sa kahugaw sa hangin dito sa ilahang lugar. The problem of pollution arises for every economy in the world, whether high income or low income, and whether market-oriented or command-oriented. Every country needs to strike some balance between production and environmental quality. So, in this chapter, we begin by discussing how firms may fail to take certain social costs like pollution into their planning if they do not need to pay this cost. Traditionally, policies for environmental protection have focused on governmental limits on how much of each pollutant could be emitted. While this approach has had some cost, we will consider both approaches, but first let's see how economists frame and analyze these laws. Let's proceed sa the economics of pollution. So by the end of this section, you will be able to explain the Gibbs example of positive and negative externalities, identify equilibrium, price, and quantity, evaluate how firms can contribute to market failure. From 1970 to 2012, the U.S. population increased by 1/3 and the size of the U.S. economy more than doubled. Since the 1970s, however, the United States, using a variety of anti-pollution policies, has made genuine progress against a number of pollution. So, ang US is nagamit na sila og mga palisiya para sa mga pollutant. In table 12.1, the economics of pollution is plus the change of carbon dioxide emission by energy users from residential to industrial. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration or EIA, the table shows that emission of certain K air pollutants declined substantially from 2007 to 2012. They dropped 740 million metric tons (MMT) a year, a 12% reduction. This seems to indicate that there has been progress made in the United States in reducing overall carbon dioxide emission, which contribute to the greenhouse effect. Despite the gradual reduction in emission from fossil fuels, many important environmental issues remain, along with the still high levels of air and water pollution. Other issues include hazardous waste disposal, destruction of wetlands and other wildlife habitats, and the impact of human health from population. Externalities. An externality is a side effect or mga consequences sa activity nga makaapekto sa lain nga parties or nga dili involve ana niya nga buhat or activity. Externalities can be positive or negative. Ang positive externalities result in makabenepisyo ang third party, while ang negative externalities is makaharm sa ubang tao. So, for example, ani is ang pollution gikan sa factory. Tawag siya og negative externality because it can harm the environment and neighboring communities without their consent. Externalities are an important concept in economics and are often used to justify government intervention and regulation to address them. Pollution is a negative externality. So pollution is considered as a negative externality because it imposes harmful costs on society that are not reflected in the price of the polluting activity. So when a company or individual pollutes, they typically don't bear the full cost of the environmental damage they cause, such as health problems, reduced air and water quality, and climate change. These costs are external to the polluter, and society as a whole pays for them. They leads to overproduction of pollution-causing activities, and it is detrimental to the well-being of the environment and society. Kita sa figure 12.1 ang the demand and supply for manufacturing refrigerators. The demand curve D shows the quantity demanded at each price. The supply curve S private shows the quantity of the refrigerator that all firms in the industry supply at each price, assuming they are taking only their private cost into equals quantity demanded. It is at a price of $650 per refrigerator and a quantity of 45,000 refrigerators. So if the firm takes only its own cost of production into account, then its supply curve will be S private and the market equilibrium will occur at E0, accounting for additional external costs of $100 for every unit produced. The firm's supply curve will be as social. The new equilibrium will occur at E1. So, kaning table 12.2 is a supply shift cost by pollution cost. Ano siya ang price is $600. Demanded siya as 50,000. Then, ang quantity supplied before considering pollution costs is 40,000. Quantity supplied after considering pollution costs is ubos siya og 30,000. If the firm is required to pay $100 for additional external cost of pollution each time it produces a refrigerator, production becomes more costly and intersupply curve shifts up by $100. As Table 12.2 and Figure 12.2 illustrate, the firm will need to receive a price of $700 per refrigerator and produce a quantity of 40,000, and the firm's new supply curve will be social. As social, the new equilibrium will occur at E1. In short, taking the additional external cost of pollution into account results a higher price, a lower quantity of production, and a lower quantity of pollution.